Hello, my friends. Welcome to our first release for the video of this new channel that is Nymph Tech, where we will be talking about our new company, Artificial Intelligence Applied, that is specifically for the hardware industry. And with me today will be Rodney Waterman, that is a good friend, is the chief of sales of Nymph Tech. So we will talking today about this, about the the new hardware industry or the new era of hardware. Hi, hi. How are you, my friend?
Very
Very
good,
good,
Alvaro.
Alvaro.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
Very good. Let me arrange a little this this this, and we start to talk about this new hardware era. How are you, Rodney?
Great.
Well, we are talking about the new era of artificial intelligence. That if it's a bubble or if it's not a bubble, we are Nymph Tech. This is a company that is working on the hardware um, technology because, in our opinion, the market needs hardware, not only needs software, needs improvement in the hardware industry because we are talking about CPU, GPU, but maybe we need a new architecture for the AI era, right, Rodney?
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
This is the website, so you can visit to know more about the company, the new computational architecture of the artificial intelligence era. Join artificial intelligence God mode. That is the subject of this of this video. You can add here your email and receive all the information that will be published about the new release. But let's talk a little about artificial intelligence and what is going on right now in the world.
Yeah, one of the things that most people don't realize is that artificial intelligence, when it came on the scene, really wasn't built to be used by the individual. And as things grow and people begin to use it, and we find all the power and capabilities that are available to us, there's really a need in the market for something that's not there.
Yeah, the first experience that we was all excited like crazy with the appearance of ChatGPT
Uh-huh.
3. That was a big release. After that, 4 that create a commercial new artificial intelligence era. Everybody runs to copy the model. The first definition that was weird for me is define artificial intelligence in a browser, because a browser is not maybe the right environment to do it, and maybe it's not the right decision to provide this service like a Netflix kind of service. Is
Right,
it,
right.
it is a question that I started did when we did create this company. Is this really a Netflix service type?
Not at all, is it? Because we're used to using our browsers to access information, and that information comes to us. And even the SaaS systems that are out there are built to um, provide services, but those services get paid for per service, right? And and they have a platform that's built subscription models pay for all of that, but it's not the same thing as AI. And so by trying to access AI through a browser, thinking that you're just getting something back, it's just not the same thing really, except for those who just use it maybe as a glorified search engine, right? That might work, but anything beyond that is really different, don't you think?
Yeah, I do believe that the problem of the artificial intelligence is that we need to understand what is artificial intelligence first to
Mhm.
define what is the better place to run and what is the best place to explore this software, what we can reach. By example, if we have an improvement to our brain, I want to have the control of that part of the brain.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
I have a technology that can improve my result thinking, uh, I need to control that thinking. So
Mhm.
my first question is that if we need this like an local artificial intelligence, something that you set up in your own computer, or
Mhm.
cloud, because this is like to paying for use your brain.
I mean, that's true. And one of the things that brings to mind is that um, as as we talk about security and privacy and what we're really asking of these models, some of us are so used to using our browsers for all kinds of things that we don't realize what we're putting out there and asking for. And as it grows more and more in business context, that security becomes a really, really big issue. So you got
Yeah.
privacy for the individual and security for the companies.
That is a real subject right now, because last year more than 1,000 persons that shared information with most of one of some of the largest artificial intelligence companies of the world discovered that all their data was shared by Google. You can find their private
Yeah.
conversations, and some of them was very uncomfortable, because sometimes you discuss things that are private, or like you said, are relevant. Imagine, by example, the chief of the Pentagon talking about missiles with with artificial intelligence and sharing all United States secrets
Oh,
all over the internet. That will be crazy.
Oh, absolutely would be crazy if anyone in the government was sharing information with these public models that just got out there into the public like that. And so there has to be some type of architectural design that keeps that secure information private so that it doesn't get out there. And it's just as important for companies as well, right? Because they don't want their IP out there in the public domain for people to be able to do and duplicate what they're doing, right?
Yeah, right. And one of the problems about all of that is that maybe you are not the chief of Pentagon, but your secrets are your secrets. Your
That's
things
right.
are your things. So
Mhm.
for anybody, it's relevant. Even if you are sharing just your recipes of cook, well, that can be very valuable. Right now, anything is relevant, important. If you are
Mhm.
using artificial intelligence to discuss personal feelings, oh, it's complicated. If you are the chief of development of Formula One, McLaren, oh, that will be very complicated.
Mhm. Oh, that is for sure. I mean, there are so many roles and well relationships that occur that we have to protect those things so that they're not exploited in some way uh, to somehow hurt someone or hurt a company.
Yeah, saying that is secure is not secure at all, because
Mhm.
we prove every day that you can find all the information online. So companies has a challenge on that will be solved with artificial intelligence in local, that run in local, that is not shared online. Maybe you can share, but you must approve if you share or not with some server. And at the same time, if you do an important development, you want to keep that on your company, because you don't know if that data is being shared in somewhere in competition. Right now, companies are talking about advertisement, so someone can control the narrative or can enforce the way that you talk or the subjects.
Mhm.
It's a subject that will be need to be reviewed by the government and laws, and if really this is the way to develop this project.
Yeah, it's a great point. Anytime you add in paid advertising, you get influence that we're not really comfortable with. We want we've already been given an expectation that AI is has some freedom to give us the information we're looking for, and now paid advertising influences that. Well, now we're is it really giving us the full picture, or is it giving us just a piece of the picture that a paid advertiser wants us to see?
Well, at the same time, the way that we did create artificial intelligence, it is complicated in some way, not just in that way. When we are talking about energy and we are talking about the use online, is strange because
Oh, yeah.
your computer, your phone, your laptop has a technology power, has a technology that can maybe provide results. We, until now, everything that we do, we can do with our own computers. Right now, the narrative of the tech world is that your technology devices are almost useless and you need to pay services online to get some services. Everybody's getting crazy with this model. We are talking about more than 100,000 companies that are trying to charge monthly fees about everything. And our computing has the power to do that. So it is complicated. We are talking about the Fortnite case that we express in our technology. Uh, uh, Everybody that is coming to this conversation, we are Nymph. We are new hardware for artificial intelligence. We will show all our creativity, products, ideas, and we are talking about the previews about this. Oh, looks like, yeah. So, what is the Fortnite case? What do we call the Fortnite case, Rodney?
Well, it really has to do mostly with how AI's cost accelerates exponentially as the use accelerates. And there are so many cases where this can occur, but I think your Fortnite case really makes a lot of sense and helps to explain that.
Yeah. Fortnite was one of the most popular games of the world. They are talking about 650 millions of accounts. That's crazy because
That's
it's
huge.
almost 10% of human. So it's a really big number.
Mhm.
And they said, well, I am not an auditor, obviously, but they said that around 120 million people is connected online.
120 million?
120 million of people
Wow.
connected to play that game. Well, it's crazy because it's on all platforms. But that is not our subject. But the thing is that, imagine, by example, if you add artificial intelligence interaction to this game. So every NPC that you found on the game or in a role-playing game, I don't know if you play Skyrim or GTA or whatever you play, okay? If everybody interact with artificial intelligence environments that are more realistic, by example, weather, clouds, water, uh, animals, other people, you can add to every feature that you find in the game artificial intelligence. The interaction will be trillions of tokens daily, trillions, because we are talking about 120 million of people using
Mhm.
intensively artificial intelligence. What can that means? Well, that can means, if you do the math, that that company will use almost all the energy that we are using right now in artificial intelligence in the world. And
Mhm.
at the same time, we'll be spending more tokens daily than the token that is spending all the companies today. And the cost for that company can be $20 billion by year, $40 billion by year. That invoice will be impossible to pay.
Yeah, yeah, that example of all the things that could occur within the game using AI, and the expense that that would incur really shows you how um, it has to be limited. And so because of the current architecture, because of the way things are currently modeled, we really can't even move to that point to where artificial intelligence can provide such an interactive um, experience just because nobody could afford to do it, right? Even
Right.
though even though the technology and capability are there or close to there, we wouldn't even be able to because of the expense. So there has to be a new way to approach the future of AI.
And imagine this, picture this. You are the trading boss of a large company that manages 10,000 millions of dollars daily in trading, in high-speed trading online. And your server lose connection to the market. 5 seconds, 2 seconds, 4 seconds. That can be crazy. You can lose everything in just like that, in a loss of power, or in the connection that can do, or if what happens if hallucinate, because we're talking about hallucination. That is our next subject.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hallucinations, they just can't happen like that, right? You just can't have it. It's too expensive. It's too risky. And so that architecture needs to be in place to support a system that won't. And that requires things like persistent memory, right? And maintaining that context.
Right now, artificial intelligence leaders said that it is acceptable what is going on the reasoning that we have on artificial intelligence right now. They are talking about 5% of mistakes and 1% of hallucination. Well, for the people that don't know maybe about artificial intelligence, can you explain what is hallucination?
Well, the easiest way to explain hallucination is in a graphic, right? Maybe someone has 6 fingers, or an extra hand, or part of their body's missing, right? That's an easy kind of visualization, but it can occur in many ways. It can occur in numbers if you're trying to do some evaluation for business. It can occur in content that's being written for marketing. It can occur in a design for some type of an engineering design, whether it be some type of automation in an industry, or a bridge, or whatever it is you're designing. And that type of hallucination who's comfortable with 1% error in the design of a building or the design of a bridge, right? No one. I don't want 1% hallucination in the design of my car.
1% of hallucination in architectural buildings can mean 1% of buildings fall. So that would be crazy.
That's 1 in 100 buildings falls down, right?
Yeah. So, well, hallucination is a process where the direction that you provide to artificial intelligence, or the instructions that you provide to the artificial intelligence, I don't know how to say, but hit with other instructions, with previous program, with limits in the architecture, with limits in the browser, with limit in CUDA, with limit of Microsoft or Linux or whatever you are using. So everything collapses. So artificial intelligence is confused about what to use like the first objective. So if you push to artificial intelligence, will provide a results. And some of time that results is totally invented and normally collapse to do resumes, or be very creatives, or find solutions if you don't find the right prompt or the right instructions.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And as the AI model takes in that information and is trying to be very efficient with it, it removes some of the information that was originally part of the conversation to be efficient, truncates some information, and all of a sudden it begins to believe that what you did tell it is what it needs to give you. So it very confidently gives you a result that isn't real.
We are having a problem about your audio. We will present right now a video about what the company is asking, what is the subject. So we invite to see this video, and we will keep the conversation. It's just 2 minutes. Don't lose the connection.
It's a frustration we all know. One minute, their AI is a genius. The next, it's forgotten everything. And look, these aren't just little glitches. they actually point to a much, much deeper problem. So what do? We build these crazy, complex workflows just to force the AI to remember stuff. And it's smart, for sure, but it's really just a Band-Aid. It doesn't fix the real issue. So what if the problem isn't the software at all? What if it's the actual cage the AI lives in? This says it all, right? An AI in a browser is basically a genius that's trapped in a tiny bottle. I mean, a browser is designed to be temporary. It was never built for continuous intelligence. This is what they call architectural asphyxiation. The AI just can't breathe, forced to forget by its environment. So the solution is Nymph, and it's a piece of hardware that literally breaks that bottle. Now, this isn't a GPU accelerator. Think of it more like a dedicated space for the AI to live and think. So the intelligence moves from a flimsy browser tab to living right at the system level. It's always on. And the difference is just night and day. Take a look. Context persistence shoots way, way up. What's that mean for you? Less time reminding your AI and way more time actually getting work done. So the AI actually feels smarter, not because the model changed, but because it can finally think without interruption. And this is all made possible by a completely new architecture. It's called Genie. Okay, so Genie basically transforms the AI from a simple calculator into a continuous thinking entity. It works by organizing the AI's state and actively protecting it from getting lost or reset. This is not just a small step up, it's a huge leap from just asking questions to having a real conversation. And get this, the target price for this pretty game-changing hardware is set at around $600. So the real question is, what could you build if your AI partner never, ever forgot anything?
Very good videos. Thank you so much, Notebook Google, one of the best artificial intelligence that you can find outside because it's setting up the basic of the problem. So we are proposing to the market a new architecture for artificial intelligence, Rodney, that we call Nymph. Nymph 1.1 as quantum with the first PCIe card that will improve any PC of the world to provide a better structure to run artificial intelligence. So remove some limitations that you can find on the of the hardware that you have right now running, because most of the hardware is running in browsers. Even the new agents are running in browser, but browser has a very limited structure to develop this technology. Rodney.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like I'm still echoing. I'm not sure what to do about that.
We hear you very well right now again.
Oh, okay.
So it's fine.
It's just me on my side. All right. So let me just add one thing which you were mentioning, and then there's a certain beauty to using the PCIe card, because there are so many machines out there that are capable of accepting the PCIe card, and to be able to put this technology within that card to create an AI workstation out of those millions and millions of machines already out there. So that people don't have to go out and buy a new machine for $1,000, but be able to upgrade to a machine that can literally use that powerful AI out of that model and to be able to provide all of the power that people are looking forward to do.
Well, the sound is a little lousy, so I will follow with the presentation of the image that we have on the screen. Thank you so much, Rodney. And you are right. The technology that we are offering to the market provides a better structure. So we call to the artificial intelligence right now the genie in a bottle. So that is the problem, the genie in the bottle. Why you artificial intelligence and trap and how to free it? If you explore the limitation, the technical the limitations of the way that we are using artificial intelligence right now, you will find there's a lot of limitation related to the way that we work with artificial intelligence that is not exactly related to the software. Some people believe that if you improve your prompt, will you improve your results. But if you drive a Formula One car and you want to help your girlfriend to move from home, you can use that car because that car is for speed, right? At the same time, if you try to do a race with a, I don't know, with a Silverado or any track like that, will be impossible because that hardware is for an objective that is different from another. So if we are using graphic processor units to run artificial intelligence, is the right way to do it? So when we did that study, we believe that not. Probably we need new hardware for new improvements beyond CPU and GPU model. Right now, the architecture of the computer world is controlled by two devices that do all the processes, the CPU and the UPU. None of them are intelligent, are just mathematical processors. By example, you don't believe your calculator is intelligent, right? So this is not intelligent. This is just a math processor that speed the calculations of your computer. But all these processes are not just related to software, are related to hardware. So the real question here is why artificial intelligence collapse? Why artificial intelligence has hallucination? Rodney,
Yeah, can you hear me okay now?
let's try. Yeah, a lot better.
Excellent. So one of the things that I think is really important for everybody to realize is that hardware was never really built for cognitive response, to be able to keep up with what's going on in a conversation, to be able to build off of what's been going on. As you pointed out, the CPU and GPU, they're built for that immediate response, to move really fast and to give an immediate response about what that question was right there. And if that's all everyone ever used AI for, then we're fine. But the more we grow, the more we ask of AI, the more we expand our use into things that are heavy research, heavy design, and so forth, the more we need to have an infrastructure that really supports all of that.
Well, and we are very excited here in Nymph because our company, in our humble opinion, because we don't know if other companies are working on it, but we are presenting the first formal artificial intelligence hardware of the world that really improves the cognitive process. That is what we all want. We need a hardware that don't collapse. We need hardware that don't hit with software or drivers. We need a better structure, so we release the genie in the bottle. So we are presenting right now in the image an explanation about that. We have two kind of process right now: CPU and GPU. But artificial intelligence is changing everything. Artificial intelligence is changing everything because it's a new process that doesn't exist before. It's different from CPU and GPU. GPU was mostly created for graphics, but is really graphic artificial intelligence process, Rodney?
No, not at all. A little bit of a repeat, but at the same time, additional information here around GPU. It was for the mathematical approach in the vectoring of creating graphics specifically. And while it's been very powerful for that and can speed a lot of things up, it's still not built to create cognitive context and make sure that all of it is connected as that chain was on the previous graphic about being able to maintain that information along the thought process.
Artificial intelligence is a different process. It's different than any process that exists before. We have a process that needs speed. GPU are mathematical processors, are calculators, are not intelligent at all. You don't believe your calculator is intelligent, right? What this kind of card, this kind of hardware is provide the structure to speed calculations. So, by example, you are playing a great game, you see 1 million of small lining points that provides a better view that can result in something beautiful like the game that we see, right? That is the reason, because we are coming from graphic era in the gaming world. So we are all impressed by games every year, because the graphics was every time better, and all the markets, especially gamers, was excited because every year was expecting to see better graphics, right? Everybody goes to Las Vegas to see if they launch a new car so we can play better games. But we are in a new era right now. Graphics is not anymore the difference between a game and another, because we are reaching a level where graphics are stunning in every games in the market. So you can find hundreds of amazing games with amazing view. Right now, we are in a new hardware era, cognitive era. Everybody wants better NPC, better architecture for reasoning, for logic, for artificial intelligence, right? And for that, we need a new hardware architecture, and we will be the first company of the world that we releasing that. And right now, I will present to you our hardware. This is Nymph. This is Nymph. Okay, this is Nymph. Will be the first cognitive hardware of the world that we expect to release in 30, 40 days, something like that. Q1 at least this year, Rodney.
And that PCIe connector is going to make it so easy for all of those that have desktops, workstations, to upgrade their machines to an AI powerhouse, because it will no longer rely simply on the GPUs that are built for that fast mathematical approach to graphics. As you mentioned, as impressive as they are today, even then it is strictly mathematical colors on a page, and then every frame is thrown together. And so it's still not intelligent, it's still not cognitive, it's still not thrown together in a persistent memory fashion.
What are you looking at here is really exciting. This is a very important video, because will be the first time ever that we are looking at cognitive hardware that will advance concepts to what we call electronic brains. Because to create a new era for hardware, we really need new structures. So to advance in the AGI, in the artificial general intelligence, we need new hardware. It's not just a problem issue. Hallucination is not just an artificial intelligence problem created by companies. It's the collapse, it's the interaction of all these problems at the same time. We are not saying that we will solve everything after Nymph. We will not have hallucination. We will have, obviously, but we will improve the results. And if the developers understand how to use our technology, can deliver real intelligence that don't collapse and don't have hallucination, and you can do a better work.
Yeah. Yeah, and it might make sense to point out here that the Nymph is not a replacement for a GPU, right? GPUs are still providing speed, and they're still providing that mathematical capability that is useful even in the AI era. And it's not replacing the CPU. Your CPU is still doing its job, but Nymph is going to orchestrate all of those things to be able to um, make sure that context remains, and that the GPU is used when it's needed, but not overworked like they are often today, heating up people's rooms because they've got so many GPUs running trying to run their AI. And so we're not replacing those things, but we're adding an infrastructure control layer that is orchestrating and assisting in helping make sure all those things work together properly to create the kind of environment and response that people need.
Well, everybody, greetings and thank you for sharing this conversation. If anybody is interested in a meeting with our company, can connect with Rodney Waterman, with myself, Alvaro Lopez. I am in LinkedIn, so you can find me on LinkedIn. You can write to this network channel, or you can find our connections in our website, that is nintech.com. Let me put nintech.com. And OpenAI guys, Anthropic guys, we can help you a lot in the development of artificial intelligence. This is not just a software problem. This will not be solved with something that you hang in your neck. Not. We need better hardware, and we can improve that structure for the future, because we don't need. This is not solved. It's not something that you have in your neck, or something that you use in your arm. No. We need better structure for artificial intelligence, not just improve the easiness to talk.
It's a great point. And so nymphtech.com is the place to look for more information, or contact me or Alvaro, and we'll be happy to help.
Yes, we are connecting with distributors from China, Mexico, and United States, so we're able to discuss. Our testing will be probably ready to go about 30 days, and we will be releasing videos weekly here. So add and share our video. We will be here weekly to discuss about artificial intelligence, this new architecture area, and we want to be main in the conversation.
Very good.
Well, thank you so much to all the friends that shared our information. A few guys connect. It's our first release, so thank you so much for everybody. See you, my friend Rodney. See you.
Very good. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.